Photo where the state troopers shot a 15-year-old kid out of the window of a moving state police patrol car, causing this 15-year-old kid to flip the ATV and crash into a Ford pickup truck. And the kid died because of his injuries. These police officers shut off their body cams one after another. One officer left her camera running. The family's suing for $50 million. Plus they're suing the officer involved, who had been arrested now. They say they're not showing the video, but yet some of it is out there already. Here's the story, and this is how the police think of the people, even the children, in this day and age. They have no mercy. They have no care. They kill us every day.
It's for my little brother.
It is a violation of our departmental policy to fire a taser from a moving vehicle.
Why is Nate not calling an ambulance?
I miss him every day. He was only 15.
On August 26th last year, a Michigan state trooper was in pursuit of 15-year-old Damon Grimes. These videos tell the story of his senseless death.
He flip. Yep. Tell him there's an accident.
While Grimes rode his red ATV on Rossini Drive in Detroit, Trooper Mark Bessner's squad car was in pursuit. When Grimes didn't pull over, Bessner shot him with a taser, a violation of department policy. Grimes crashed into a parked truck.
What happened?
They're coming from Gresham or Rossini.
If you have a unit or two, make it there for more support. I don't think it might be a pretty bad one.
Quickly, nearby officers from MSP and Detroit Police respond to the scene. There, standing over Grimes' body, is Trooper Bessner.
Yeah, crashed in the bus.
How fast?
Can you get a mask out of him? He was going pretty slow.
But quickly, Grimes' condition worsens, while other officers watch helplessly. Listen.
Yeah, strong pulse. It's a real thing. So his pulse is weakening. What's our ETA on EMS?
His pulse is weakening. I'm like, thing, Jesus.
While most officers arriving on the scene turn their body cameras on, some appear to turn theirs off. As one officer arrives, another approaches, placing his hand over her body camera. Immediately, she turns her camera off.
15. Where's his mom at?
No sympathy.
When EMS arrived at the hospital, Grimes was pronounced dead. Hours later, police were still on the scene. As the sun set, they used a hose to clean up the crime scene where a 15-year-old lost his life. Neighbors watched in disbelief.
Now they want to clean up the blood after they just killed my little cousin.
So it took 7 months and getting corporate attorneys involved.
They had to hear him. Look how his bike bent up. Look how the bike bent up.
He flip.
Tattoos all over that cop's
Tell him there's an
arms.
accident.
Okay, he's got a pulse and he's breathing. 09, he slowed down. We tased him. The EMS stepped in. He's got a pulse. He's got a pulse. Radio from MSP. If you just maybe have a unit or two, make it there for moral support. Sounds like it might be a pretty bad one.
And they never said what they were chasing. They just came over there and said MSP's in the case.
Don't rush to the state police. It gets like that. crashing the car.
We do that.
Can you get a mask out of it? He was going pretty slow. You want a breathing mask? A bag valve they have on it. Get out of here.
I got one. You want mine? Bag?
I can't get up.
Tony, his pulse is weakening. What's our ETA?
Pulse speaking. I'll find out. Jesus.
All the camera shut-off tricks. Luckily, one officer left their camera on. All them cameras went black. She turned her camera on. Hell no, no escort.
Yeah. We only do that for police.
Okay. I don't know.
If an officer was shot, we
I didn't know if they were chasing up food.
He just deep. Because if he wasn't there, he rushed. Sam Charles, Lincoln Adam, George, 100.
Are they gonna have to send out fatal squad, or I don't know if we should leave yet. A shitload of people.
That's the wrong answer.
512 shows in the area.
15.
551.
Where's his mom at?
He's a badass this week. I'm sorry, man. You're going to bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Don't think you're all for bullshit. Motherfucker won't be going there, go in there and fucking deal with it.
What happened?
They tased his ex-plates driving across him.
Now they want to clean up the blood after they just killed my little cousin.
No.
He got demoted, but he still don't care about people. He was arrested finally. His court case was upcoming. I'll show that next. Charged with second-degree murder, 2 counts of manslaughter. Faces life in prison for killing a 15-year-old kid. Shooting him out the window of the police car with a taser while he was riding his four-wheeler. And this is a picture of the officer in court. He was the one that shot the innocent kid. Innocent till proven guilty, right? He shot this child out the moving window of a patrol car while the kid was moving on a four-wheeler, and the 15-year-old kid died. This is a picture of the child that they murdered. And the story goes on to the judge blast former MSP trooper Mark Bessner, sends him to prison for 15 years in death of Detroit teen riding on an ATV.
Charged with 2 things, second-degree murder and involuntary manslaughter. The jury months ago actually decided to go with involuntary manslaughter, so he was facing up to 15 years in prison. Now, guidelines for what they were talking about, taking a look at this, the judge admitted he would likely only get 19 to 38 months, but after taking a lot of things into consideration, she ended up giving him 5 to 15 years. Now, I want to draw your attention to the screen because we're going to put up a picture of Damon Grimes. He was just 15 years old at the time that he died. He was the person who was on that ATV vehicle when Bessner pulled out a taser, launched it at him while both were moving during a chase, and it caused the crash that ultimately claimed Damon Grimes' life. Now, you have likely seen the video at this point in time. We've covered that extensively, but part of the reason the judge said she went above the guidelines in this case was because of the young age of both the victim, but also the amount of training that Bessner had as a trooper, talking about how he had education, not only in the taser, but also in law enforcement. I also want you to hear, though, what the family had to say. Damon Grimes' aunt talking in court today. Let's listen in.
As we try to move on, we can't reflect on everything he is, as well as what we miss. His first day of school, his graduation. Other than his family, he will not know what it is to have a real first kiss or fall in love and marry. We'll never have kids, grandchildren to spoil. Mr. Bessner, what we want you to know is that our hearts are broken.
That cop don't care.
Looking around the courtroom when you heard that, it was an excruciating feeling. You could hear a pin drop. The only thing you heard was an occasional sniffle from one of the people that was either Damon Grimes' family member or Bessner's. He was also inside, and for the first time in a long time, we heard him talk to the family and say he did not want to even know what it felt like to lose a child, apologizing directly to them, turning around and looking at them. We want you to hear that as well.
And I'm truly sorry. And I want the family to know, the Grimes family to know I am sorry. I think about it every day. And if there were a time machine I could go, that I could jump into and go back and change that outcome, I would. But I can't.
There was no shortage of attention on this case. This got national attention nonetheless because of the severity of the situation, the crime, a young teenager dying, and it was addressed in court today that this is the type of situation that gives a bad name to other officers, other people putting on the badge. And the family talked about that with Kim Craig. We're going to hear about that later today right here on 7 Action News. In fact, she's still working on that story and talking with family members from Grimes as well. We will continue to track this throughout the day. A whole lot to peel back. This is just the beginning of the story, guys.
So this just proves that a cop can murder a 15-year-old child and get 5 to 15 years, which with good time in state prison, they could sometimes get day for day good time. So he could be out in about 2.5 years probably for murdering a child and going against everything he was trained to do.